All right. Welcome, 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 welcome. And let me make sure. All right. Let me make sure my audio was good, which of course it wasn't. So that's a fat L for me already. Okay, we got a lot to go over today. Okay, as you can tell from the title, we're taking care of some business. That's right, photography business on Let's Talk Photography. So, before we get really deep into the weeds of today's topic, let's get the minutia out the way, shall we?
Join me every Thursday on YouTube for another live show of Let's Talk Photography. We cover the latest news, interviews with today's industry leaders, tips, tricks, lighting, cameras, and the business of photography. My weekly live stream is all about crowd participation. You're encouraged to ask questions, talk about the cool camera gear you've got or the camera gear you want to get. Hell, you could just join our open panel discussion during our Q&A portion of the show. The cost of access to Let's Talk Photography is very, very low. For today only, I'm hosting a very low price of free $99 to subscribe and press that bell icon to get notifications of my upcoming live streams. Now let's get back to the show.
Welcome, everyone. That's right. I want to thank you. And so does SpongeBob. He wants to say something.
Thank you for your patronage.
And I think Macho Man Randy Savage wants to say something too. Oh, yeah. There you go. We're all in here. We're only one button, one sound effect tab away from my God until Derek comes back. My friend and co-host Derek will be back. He told me today, next Thursday, he wants to come back. So I have to give him a round of applause. Yeah, I'm really excited for that because talking for 2 straight hours is not it's one way to make me tired real quick. Right. So there we go. We have a lot to go over, as I said. Today is all about copyright and understanding your rights as a creative. And I say creative because that's just a nice broad blanket that this actually applies to. Of course, on Let's Talk Photography, I'm really talking to photographers and videographers, but this applies to musicians, models, anybody with some sort of brand identity as well that you've created, especially artists out there. Let me just make mine a little adjustment. And I want to help you. This is one area when I was going to school, I was really paying a lot of attention to business law and copyright because that's where the money's at. My emphasis my emphasis in school was music, business, and entertainment business, and I knew with music that whoever owns the publishing, the copyright, is really the one who controls how that music is made. I mean, it is used. Excuse me. And they're the ones collecting all the money. So that's why we hear stories of broke artists because they signed the wrong contract, gave away all their rights, and the record company's making all this money, or the publishing company's making all this money. Now that applies all the way down to filmmakers, videographers, photographers, and models too. Um, that these simple, basic fundamentals apply to all of you, and especially myself. And I have lost money, and after me becoming more aware of how it is applied to photography, definitely had made sure I've earned more money after knowing these particular things. And today, honestly, I was researching what am I gonna talk about today, and, because 'cause I've had such a hectic week, I didn't really have time to really think about what I'm gonna talk about, and then all of a sudden it just hit me as I was researching something completely different we're gonna talk about, and I saw some recent, articles, which I'm gonna share with you during photo news, and I was like, "Wow, this is happening," and what I'm gonna show you that was happening, via Petapixel, um, is good news for us, really, really good news, okay? So, with all that said, let's go ahead and check first, before we do that, if you haven't already, okay, if you haven't already, shame on you, make sure you go ahead and follow me on all the socials. That's right. All these links are right in the description section and down below. That's right. I made it that available for you. So it is almost unfoolproof. Okay. It might be foolproof because some of you just may not know what a description section is, but it's right there. Direct links to my Facebook, my Instagram, my threads, my TikTok, where you can see me pop lock and it won't stop. And then, I'm on Twitter too. For some odd reason, I'm still there. That's right, I'm still posting. So go ahead and follow me on the socials. Of course, okay, if you just absolutely enthralled with this channel and you're just like, "Wow, I can't wait till it's a million, holy cow," right? Then go do your part and smash that like button, smash that share. All you gotta do is tweet it. Just smash it, say tweet, boom, there you go. And subscribe. And of course, smash that bell, a notification to get notified of my upcoming content. I post my in the community tab, photos and questions I always post there. Also, my shorts, I try to post. And then, I do 1 to 2 uploaded videos a week, plus this live stream, and, that goes right that's a perfect segue. Boy, I'm on a roll today. That is a perfect segue to my next thing I wanna let you know about. Go ahead and check out after this live stream, you hear me? After this live stream. Check out my latest video, why you need one. That's right, I'm talking about the 24 to 70 millimeter lens, why every photographer needs one, okay? You do. And I'm gonna give you I give you 5 reasons in my latest YouTube video. 5 reasons why you should be owning a 24 to 70 millimeter lens. Now, it could be a f4, I'm not mad at that, but the video's geared toward 2.8. That was my first professional lens. That was my first professional lens. I had the Nikon D7000, I believe. Yeah, it was a D7000, and I bought the 24 to 70 f2.8 lens. That was my first professional lens, yes, on a crop body, and then I graduated to the D750, and I was like, "Oh," and it was a pretty dang good combo, so shout out to the D750. And then, blah, 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 blah from there. Then I went to the 810 and the D500, I had a second. Anyway, but the point is, that was my first professional lens. Before that, I had, like, the 50 1.8, an 85 1.8, the 35 1.8 crop sensor Nikon, and, what did I have? The kit lens, and I had a Jesus, I forgot what telephoto lens I had. That was like a 6 point that was like a 5.6, 6.3 or something like that. Forgot which one it was. I sold it. Soon as I went to D850, I sold all the crop stuff, and, but with that said, that lens, I I had it all the way up until I got into the Nikon Z9. Once I got the Nikon Z9, I finally sold it. So I've had it for at least 10 years. It was a magnificent workhorse worth every penny, and, in my video, I explain why. Give 5 reasons, so go check out that video on my YouTube channel later on, whatever, it doesn't matter. You go check it out for yourself, okay? There you go. Alright, let's go check out some of these comments before we get to the photo news. Alright, so we got John Ichi in the house. Wow, that's what I'm talking about. I've gotten tons of pics stolen and used by others. See, that's why we need to talk about this, right? Hey, Greg, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you so much. And then, guess that's Robert and John so far. Yep, that's, yep. We're in here, absolutely. Roy says, "Good day." Hey, well, see, I love when they're all welcoming each other. That's what I want this space to be about. That's why it's called Let's Talk Photography. If you just wanna talk about photography or just listen about photography, well, this is the time. Every Thursday, 5 PM Pacific Standard Time. Did either of you see that video talking about the movie creator being shot on a Sony FX3? No. Greg, if you could, DM me that link, I would like to see it. Probably like Instagram or something if you can. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see this. Sounds pretty cool. Um Appreciate discussion on the legal issues. I'm only a hobbyist, but have wondered, should I pay closer attention to those areas, copyright and etc. Absolutely. So, Greg, I have a round of applause for tuning in for such an important topic. It can sound boring, but this is actually very important. So, shout out to you. Okay. Um, let's see. Oh, here we go. Roy says you would think digital has more of a problem than film. I'm probably missing 50% of film that never returned from clients. Oh, shoot. This is what we're trying to get into. Is we're gonna try to get into. I deal with this all the time. Sometimes, like when people deal want to. Honestly, it kind of there's like a gray area also, like why I'm so protective over my raw files. Right, this is part of it. And a client recently just asked, "Hey, do you sell the raw files?" So we're gonna get into like scenarios as well. Um, Drunk wedding photographer. Afternoon, everyone. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Doing great. I'm hopped up on this coffee today. John H. I might need one, but I don't want one. Gotcha. Okay. Hold on, let me make sure I understand. Let me see here. Maybe I don't understand what you're saying, John. Forgive me. I'm a little crazy right now. Would you think digital has more of a problem than film? I actually do think yes, but I think right now with the landscape of, other technologies causing some waves like AI and all this other stuff, it's really important for us to know because there's certain things we're just it would we'd be wasting time chasing after, but the times where it's worth chasing after and getting your just dues really helps to at least balance out when you can't, right? Um, let me see, and I have even on Instagram went to people and said, "Yo, that's my photo. I didn't give you the rights," and stuff like that, and the model, like, gave me the rights to post the photo, and I'm like, stop that right there." Especially if they're a magazine and they sell products, right? Their audience, they're selling to. Therefore, any images they post on their social media is to help promote their brand and thus sell them on their publication. No, I need money for that, even for a social media post, okay? Like, "Oh, well, we have all these followers." Well, it would have been nice if you came to me, take it off, okay? Um, here we go. Hey, thank you, Des, for tuning in. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I like the crown too. Good evening to you, sir. Good evening. All right, so let's get into some stuff we have here. Um, okay, we did everything there. Cool. All right, let's get to the photography news. Oh wait, do I have a product highlight today? No, today's about copyright. So I don't really have a product to talk about. I am starting another product review video. Derek, we're gonna be filming it on Sunday. Derek's gonna come by and we're gonna go shoot some B-roll with it. And then, so I'll bring that to all of you soon. I am gonna be obviously posting more tutorials. I'm trying to get up to where I can upload 2 videos a week plus a stream and about 4 stories a week. That's a hell of a lot. I don't think folks really understand how, like, intense making YouTube videos, it really is. It's time consuming, man. It really is. Okay, but I'm not complaining. Alright, let's get to the photography news, alright? Let's get to it. Alright, so here we go. I hope you guys enjoy very expensive, graphics. This is for you guys, okay? Yeah, that's for all of you. Alright, so we have here check this out, man. This is crazy. Photogs, ladies and germs. Come on now. Bride wants a refund after photographer slept with the groom. Wow. Can you believe that? Holy cow. Okay. Now, I had to read this. So what happened was that, the bride ends up that she wants a refund because the second shooter allegedly look at this, the second shooter allegedly slept with the groom. Wow. Okay. So, early this summer, they had a wedding booked, but the regular photographer shooter second shooter couldn't make it. Her and I did the wedding, and everything seemed business as usual. Photos edited and delivered to the client. All was good. Okay. Then we continue. Then this morning, I got an email from the bride and she's wanting a refund. What? I wouldn't like the sound of that. The lady I hired, look at it. The lady I hired as a second shooter ended up sleeping with her husband at some point after the wedding. And she could also include a photo from her from his phone. Wow, to prove it. The photographer posted wedding photography asked the forum, best course of action, right? The photographer is wondering, should I refund? What should I do? Give a piece? What should I do? She hired me for a job, and the job was completed, and the product was delivered. Yeah, that's the way I would have stood on it. I would have stood on 10 toes. I'm like, "I'm sorry to hear it, but, my job according to contract was to shoot. I did. I delivered, edited, I did. My job is done according to the contract. That is literally it." Um, but I also feel look at this. I also feel like this would be, as if I were a professional dog walker who walked a dog, then came back, shot it later. Got it, yeah, but it's not your fault. They also add the second shooter was a private contractor, not an employee. See? Look at that. Okay, make sure you write that into your, wedding contract right there. I really feel for this lady, but also it's a lot of money, okay? Now, the response, top comment underneath the post. Tell them you are sorry to hear about it, but there wasn't a way for you to refund the service has been completed for the contract. That's exactly how I feel. I would not return anything. You out of your mind. It didn't happen during the wedding, right? This is on her time, the second shooter's time. They personally met up, did what they did, has nothing to do with that day of photography and my job as a photographer. Um, here we go again, the contractor who I will not work with again, but she is not directly involved with my business. I cannot refund you because something unfortunate happened that I had no control over. Exactly my point. It seems to appear, it appears to be a reasonable response, and the original poster seemingly agrees, adding, "This seems like a good path forward." Exactly. All you can do is apologize. But holy cow! I mean, yikes! Yikes! So I say you out there, photographers, what would you do in this case? Come on now. What would you do in this case? You hire a second photographer, you shoot it, all's good, and she ends up sleeping with the groom. What would you do? All right. I would love to hear it. Okay. Um, let me see. Happy to announce I'm the proud owner of a D700. Found one for cheap and it's close to new. Way to go. Yeah, way to go. That's a come up. Oh, Z9 in the house. You know, that's right. Z9's is good. Okay. Uh-oh. Exactly. 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 And here we go. Look at his face. Yep, that's exactly, my expression when I first saw the title of this article. There's a similar story that happened years ago, but the photog lady slept with a guest. Okay, that's a little bit distance from the actual bride and groom, but it's still a little ugly, right? The lady what's with the lady photographers with the client? What the hell? Anyway, um, confession time. I have a photograph I have photographed weddings of a handful of exes. Thankfully, no refunds were asked. Well, there you go. Well, that's a win, brother. Uh, Greg says, "I probably just give it back and write it into my future employee agreements that they cannot be romantically involved with the wedding couple for 1 year after the wedding." Well, Greg, you're a bigger man than me. I wouldn't give not one penny back. Remember, that photographer, key photographer, shot the wedding. He showed up, he shot the wedding, edited it, and delivered it already. Anything outside of that scope, it's not his fault. He's not responsible for. They met up on their private time, did their, escapade, had nothing to do with the original photographer, so I wouldn't give not one dime back, screw that. Somehow, he's gonna throw dirt on his name. Yeah, yeah, perhaps. That's why it's his response is very important. It needs to be tactful, empathetic, sympathetic, and all that good stuff, 100%. Maybe I'll throw in, like, some free prints or something. That won't cost a whole lot compared to, you know, a refund or anything, but I certainly am not giving back my money. No, no, no. Not their fault, no refund. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Vic. Yeah, that's my point. It's not their fault. It's not the original photographer's fault. It didn't happen during the wedding. That would have been different. Um, it happened outside of the scope of the agreement of their employment. So, no, hell no. I wouldn't give not one dime back. Uh, oh, okay. Alright, I was just looking through these things here. Alright, let's get to the next topic at hand. Alright? Check this out. Alright, supermodel is terrified of posting on Instagram after photographer sued her. Well, sorry. Now check this out. This is really interesting. This plays right into today's topic. It plays right into it. Former supermodel Paulina blah, 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 has revealed that she is now terrified of posting on Instagram after she was sued by a photographer. Well, well. Porakova. Okay, there we go. Polina Porakova. Okay, I don't remember her, but she was a supermodel at one Wednesday. Porakova shared a selfie on Instagram with a lengthy caption explaining that she is only posting her own images on social media now because she is fearful of photographers suing. What? Okay, now this makes so much sense. Look at this. She has 1.1 million followers. 1.1 million followers. That post, this one here, this scary post right here, got her 31K likes alone. One reason I've been posting a lot of self-generated content lately is because I'm terrified, Parakova writes in her caption. Of what? You may wonder? Of getting sued again, right? Is what she says. I'm just adding a little drama because you know they add the drama. Here we go. I didn't realize this was wrong. God. Uh, Parakova, who, by the way, makes who's made an entirely successful career supermodel, selling her image, thus copyright. Go fig you know? Um, Parakova, who has over 1.1 million followers on Instagram, describes how her fearfulness started after she got sued by a photographer 2022 when she shared his photos of Ukraine on social media. So a photojournalist, she took photos from a photojournalist post and reposted. Here's the deal, last year, while posting from the horrors in Ukraine, I used photos I found on Instagram to illustrate the story, she recalls. 6 months later, I was slapped, absolutely slapped. Can you believe it? with a lawsuit by a law firm on behalf of one photographer. I had used his photo without his approval or without paying for usage. Usage. The former supermodel says, "Do not know." She didn't know that reposting photographers' images on Instagram was considered copyright infringement at that time. Parakova also knows that her own pictures are republished frequently. Until that point, I didn't even realize that there was a thing, reposting photos from the internet being illegal. My images are used all the time, and unless someone is trying to sell something with the images, I thought it was fine. It turns out it's not. Let's continue. There are law firms that do nothing but scour. Oh, I like that one. Let's do that again. But scour social media for dummies like myself who have enough followers to pay up. That's right. She has 1.1 million and more now by now. Arkova says that she managed to reach a settlement with the photographer, but the lawsuit ended up being a costly mistake on her behalf. See? She paid up because that's your right. It's your right. That photographer was in the right and knew they're right, and therefore she ponied up. She has the money. 1.1 million? Yeah, you got the money. Find it. We settled out of court. I know you did because my intentions notwithstanding, they were right. That's right. The photographer was right. That photographer, he or she, understood the rights that they possess in owning that creative work, and that photographer, by law, did not give rights over permission, licensing, etcetera, to her to post on her 1.1 million, follower Instagram account. Let's go back. Let's continue. I did use an unauthorized photo. See, there you go. I was unauthorized. I didn't reach out to him. I didn't get their permission. Case closed. She's just like, okay, let's settle out of court. Leave this out of what do you call it? The drama and all that other stuff, TMZ and whatnot. Here's a few, broke them off a few racks, I'm sure. Thousands of dollars is what I'm saying. Even if it was carrying on the message I thought the photographer was trying to make. That war is evil. And boy, did that turn out to be an expensive mistake. Yeah, he probably got a couple, like, maybe $10,000. P Par 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 Parkova then apologized to her followers for the plethora of selfies and photographs on her Instagram recently. She said the quality of content on her platform would not be improved now because she can no longer post other photographers' images on her Instagram profile, which she should in the first place. They look That post reached 31K likes, thousands of comments. Several photographers chimed in on this matter. One individual says, "That's ridiculous. I'm a photographer, and I would never stoop to suing someone for using one photo without permission." Well, you're an idiot, and you're probably broke. However, another photographer explained that artists needed to be compensated for images. Exactly, exactly. That's why we have this show today or this topic today, because we need to be compensated. Look at the SAG actors, the, labor unions in LA, the actors unions, they're all what makes us any less special? They have collective bargaining, we don't. We're all individuals here, unless we didn't pay attention and tune into topics like this, because this is where we're gonna be leaving a lot of money on the table. If that photographer didn't do anything, she's using all you know how many licenses she could have been paying for using other photographers' work? No, we deserve to get paid just like anybody else, and I don't hold any pity. I don't hold any pity. I don't. Not one of those clients or her is gonna come to that photographer who went to Ukraine in the middle of a damn war, taking some great photos, risking his life, and then he still has rent to pay for, he still has a mortgage to pay for, he still has kids to pay no, screw that. Pay up. I would never stoop to suing someone. Get off your high horse, you idiot. So, I'm sorry, guys, I got a lot of coffee in me. If we're talking about photographs of Ukraine in wartime, then that would be a photojournalist who is risking their life to go take those pictures. Exactly, that alone needs money. I mean, seriously, shout out to all the photojournalists risking their lives to share stories, to tell the truth, get it out there. Man, are you kidding me? And you better break them off, and I'm glad you did get broke off. Photographers do not and should not work for free. Years of experience, gear, and knowledge go into every image, and we all know this, folks. We all know that's why it's called Let's Talk Photography, um, not Let's Talk Hobby. Okay, likewise, another commercial photographer argues, believe it or not, I like this. Let's see. Believe it or not, it's how photographers survive. Let's repeat that again, folks. Believe it or not, it's how photographers survive. It's called usage, which we're gonna talk about. You want to use one of my creations? You must pay me for that. Case closed. Done deal. Okay, done deal. I rest my case, Your let's go ahead and check out some of these comments here. You said my audio is choppy? Hold on. Uh, okay, hold on. Way back up here. Oh, okay. Let's try this. I don't think it's the photographer's fault. I just think it's too much bad blood to be associated with. I'd worry about being smeared. Um, I hear what you're saying. That's why I suggest, okay, why not offer her something else of value of some sort. I'll do whatever to keep my money because again, um, I wasn't in the wrong. If I'm the lead photographer, I'm not in the wrong. I had nothing to do with it. If it happened on the day of, I would totally understand your point. If it happened on the day of, right, they're out in the back room somewhere playing around, totally get it. Because even as a contractor, I'm responsible for that employee or whatnot. Oh, what the hell just oh, John just said, um, let me see here, John. Oh, yeah, you said my audio is a bit choppy. Let me know how it is. Is it a little bit better? Because I will okay, said the it is a bit choppy. Okay, let me know right now. I just switched to Wi-Fi. Please let me know, down below, okay? Let me know how the audio is, and I will continue from there. Let's go. Alright, folks, let me know. How's the audio? Ah, cool. Awesome. Alright, yeah. I switched to Wi-Fi, and, we got, like, 2 or 3 here in the house, uh, but I switched it up, and that's what it is. I shoulda plugged it in directly, but I did not, so that's a fat L on my part. I'll take that one. Um, let's see here. We got John, who we got, boop, 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 boop. Is there a clause in the contract about banging the groom? Well, maybe there should be, like, yeah, anyway, but I haven't seen one. Yeah, the story I referred, the photog and the guest did it at the wedding. Wow, photography and guest at the wedding. I mean, sparks were flying immediately. That's crazy. Holy cow. It's always the photographer's fault. Let them tell it. Yeah, I know. I know. That's what she all these folks. That's why she tried to come right back to the photographer. It's like, "What do I have to do with it? I wasn't even there." Um Let's see here. Then again, I'm not in business. I might feel differently if I did the work week in and week out for a living. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, let's say you shoot a wedding for 3 grand, and she's trying to get her money back. Like, are you kidding me? No, I'm good. No, are you kidding me? Hell no. So so yeah, that's a good point, Greg. That's a good point. Very good point. Second shooters are for breaking gear and not entertaining the clients. Yes, an emphasis on entertaining the clients. That's right. That's not their job. Stay away. Stay away. Uh, Thanks, John, for letting me know about the audio earlier. Really appreciate it. Speaking of usage, it's why I have in my contract indefinite usage as well as a model and property release built in. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Again, it's what you could prove, right? When you're in court, it's what you can prove. That paperwork, email, all that stuff, like that's what you can prove. So you better have it written. For portraits, I put down I do not pay for studio fees. You don't know how many times they try to get me like, "Oh my goodness." I have it in my initial email saying, "Hello, thank you for reaching out." My initial, template, I have a template for every kind of photography, and I send that out for the first initial contact, and it always says late fee, overage fee, like, if they wanna take longer, um a booking, like if you try to cancel within 72 hours fee, um, also a fee for, of course, a deposit, and that I do not pay for the studio rental fee. And they're like, "Oh my goodness." That is just the way it goes. I'm not coming out of pocket for that. You're paying for my time, not for the studio. So, but you gotta have that in writing, bold letters, and I have it on my PDF of my services. Right? My list of packages that I emailed to the client, it says it in bold letter too, does not include studio rental fees and travel fees. Bro, you guys don't understand, you're losing so much money not charging for travel. I'm doing something that's an hour drive, right? That means it's 2 hours, hour there, hour back. Sh I charged her, 150 bucks just for the driving. Screw that. Gas is going through the roof, inflation, interest. Oh, well, hell, I don't care. I'm charging for everything. And that's the way it goes. Companies are doing it. You think your green beans are $2? No, they don't cost $2 to make for that can of green beans, but they're equating cost, cost of goods sold, the price of the can went up, everything went up, the damn green bean went up, and then, interest rates and other damn random bills they got, they charge you $2 for a stupid can of green beans. So why in the heck you as a photographer don't think that way? But they're in business making plenty of money at Safeway or whatever your grocery store is, and we're all sitting here trying to make a part-time living. No, I'm gonna have the same mentality. I'm charging for everything. Whew, sorry guys, I'm a little bit on my soapbox today. Alright, so yes, usage is so important. Hi friends, great topic here. Awesome, thank you very much, Craig. I very much appreciate it, man. Sheeple will follow anyone these days, 100%. That's why I'm trying to help you guys to be at least a free thinking photographer, so that you understand your rights and stand up and get paid for it. Yes, Robert, audio is a top. Oh yeah, we fixed that. Hopefully you guys got that. So I really appreciate it. Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much for the words of affirmation. Maybe AI will be able to register images and find the illegal copies. Dang, that's really, you may have something. That's actually pretty now that's useful. As long as you register it, and maybe it's something like a registration with the copyright office, right? And they give you, like, a digital number and stuff like that. Yeah, I could see that. Almost like it's embedded into the digital images. But what is it that NTF? Like a NTF kind of a thing. Finally put that thing good to use, that technology. Stop stopping by for a minute. Have a great night. Thank you very much. Des says, "If was the photographer, I would have told her, 'Get your husband to give you your money back.' Whoa, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, hold on. Oh yeah. I would have told her this. I would have been, yeah, go to him. Get it out of the divorce. You know what I mean? Put that atomization on the divorce. And wedding photography, we need another 3 grand for that. Anyway, Roy, the very worst jobs I've done were done for free. Let's all repeat that again. Let's say it together, everybody, okay? The very worst jobs I've ever done were for free. All right, folks? Say that like 3 times every day. You wake up, you're brushing your teeth, slap cold water on your face, look right in that mirror and repeat this, okay? Because it's true. It's so, so true. It's so true. They want this, they want the gold star treatment, right, for TV dinner price. Come on. And, I stopped just even people that I'm familiar with, they're not my friends, but I'm familiar with them, we're cool, and people just have such a habit of just DMing and saying, "Hey, I wanna do a shoot. When are you available?" I'm like, "Uh, when you pay the deposit, I'm available. Who says I work for free? Like, this is what I do." And, it's crazy how disrespectful the boundaries are when it comes to photography service, knowing I do this for a living. It's crazy. So, yes, you're absolutely right, Roy. Um, are we talking about the bride that sued the lead photographer because the second shooter slept with her husband? Absolutely, Craig. Yeah, you must have saw that too on, Petapixel. Hold on, is this that's not the one. That's not the one. Yeah, that was the one. Never pay for studio rental fees, 100%. Absolutely. 'Cause what you're charging people, if you're smart, that's right, I said it. If you're smart, you're charging them for your time, your sitting fee, quote, unquote, right? It's for you. That 300 whatever dollars you're charging, that's for you. And within that, you've equated, obviously, your basic travel. If it's within a certain amount of miles, you can set that for yourself. And, your internet, your whatever your hourly is, that includes the editing time, right? Does not include a studio rental fee, which does not go to you. Hell, there's no way you win. No way you'll win, okay? Because then if you mark it up to accommodate, then you might price yourself out of a third of your clients. Because in their mind, they're thinking, "Oh my god, you now charge 800 bucks." And it's like, "No, because the package comes with 3 hours, I gotta pay for the studio, woo, woo, woo." The price, they can't get over that. But if they see the 500 and then say, "Hey, look, I have these 3 options of studios," and then you can say, "Okay, boom, boom, boom." I itemize it, add it. I haven't had a problem, I've been doing that. I have 0 problem. It's fine because when they see your work and they want you, they will find the money. Have packages that are more flexible for different economic, uh, reaches of your clients, and then that's it. That's all you gotta do, and then stand on your 10 toes. Don't fold. Video is buffering too. I noticed that. Let me check this. Let me check. Let me check right now. Check this feed. Let's see, buffering. I've never had this issue. Never had this issue. This is very interesting. Let's see. It doesn't say. Okay, I don't see here. They limited my. Oh my god. They limited my monetization on this video. I didn't even show anything. Ah, I tell you, YouTube tries to do whatever it can to make sure you get less out of your own content. You believe that? I mean, Christ. I could see if I showed a video. I didn't show any video. Sorry, guys. Jesus. Um, let me see. How can I get into checking my buffering? That's what I'm trying to do right now. And it seems not to be as easy as it looks. Okay. Does not seem to be as easy as it looks. Nope, that's not helping me. Let's go to analytics. Let's see that. Okay, here we go. All right. It says stream strength. It says stream is healthy. It's all in green. It says stream status excellent. So that is annoying because obviously what you guys see can be different. So that's annoying. But thank you very much, Roy. I appreciate that. I don't know how the second shooter found the time. That's what I was thinking too. I mean, they must have really headed off, met each other in the bathroom, exchanged numbers, and then obviously met up afterwards. But wow. Hey, thank you, sir. Video is good on my end. Okay, all right. Yeah, it says healthy, so I don't know what to say. I found clients using images years later when they were single use. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. And that's another thing. So actually let's get to today's topic, shall we? Cuz you guys are starting to mention some great points. All right. Okay. So, let's get to the main oh, here we go. Let's get to the main event. All right, there we go. That is about as big as my budget is for that intro. So, ah, all right, I'll go with Final Fantasy. You guys know Final Fantasy? That was like the original Final Fantasy. I think that was like Super Nintendo or something. So shout out to my Final Fantasy nerds out there. All right. First, let's talk about it. What is copyright? Okay, what is it? All right. So here we go. We're gonna go to Professional Photographers of America, and we're gonna go talk about that right now. Okay, here we are. First things first. A copyright is the exclusive legal right of creators or assigned copyright owners to reproduce, distribute, publicly display, or create derivative works from an original work. A copyright also gives its owner, in most cases us, the exclusive right to license those usage rights to others. See, here it is. Look at it here. It gives the owner the exclusive right to license, right, permission to those usage rights to others. You're giving them permission to use those images to other people, right? Your clients, in this model's case, the supermodel, stuff like that. Okay, so that is exactly what copyright is. It's your legal right, okay, to assign copyright. I mean, to assign or license the usage of your images for others to reproduce, distribute, publicly display. See, publicly display. This is where she messed up right here. Publicly display her channel, 1.1 million followers on Instagram. She publicly displayed without permission. He did not give her the right to publicly display her image on Instagram. In this case, a single post. Would it be a single post or a carousel with multiple images? In her case, it was a carousel because there's a couple of photojournalistic images from Ukraine. He did not give her the exclusive right to use that image, and thus he got broke off. That's right. Shout out to him. Okay. Now, Unbeknownst to her, she said other people were using her stuff, etc., etc. Um, she might want to be careful because she's probably not the copyright owner a lot of times because she did work for hire. Okay, we'll get to works for hire and what rights you have and don't have when you do that. We'll get to that in a second. Don't worry, I got you. Okay, so that is the fundamentals of what is a copyright. Because before we really get started, you got to know the fundamental. You got to at least know what the hell a copyright is. That's what we're going to talk about today. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to go over. Hold on. Do we have? Okay, everybody's up to speed. Clearly. Okay. If you have any questions, post them down below for sure. Now, let's go to the next thing. Who owns? Who owns the copyright to your photos? That's right. You see how that sounds crazy? Who owns the copyrights to your photos? All right, now it's going to get a little sticky because a lot of photographers, and you don't have to be a professional photographer who does this for a living, part-time. You could just be a hobbyist. You have these rights. All this applies to you. The reason why I'm emphasizing it more on those who try to earn a part-time side gig or full-time living off of it is because then you're really losing a lot of money. But you have the same rights, hobbyists. So this applies to you. Now, isn't that kind of crazy to ask such a question? Who owns the copyright to your photos? I know you look in the mirror, you're like, you idiot. Of course, you would think so, but not always the case. Okay, that's why you gotta have things in writing. Again, it's what you could prove, not what you could say. It's what you could prove. What's written in that agreement? Like, don't sleep with the groom. That's a good clause. A non sleep with the client clause. Okay. Don't do that. Fat L. All right. Um, but in this case, this is what you want to know. In general, if I'm taking portraits, you're technically giving that client, like in many general model model photography shoots, you're generally giving them a non-exclusive. You see how it's said in the terms exclusive rights? You're giving them non-exclusive rights to, post and generally share those images without being able to sell them. They can't sell those images. They can't say, "Hey, someone wants to use it for a commercial. They love the way I took it with their product. I don't know, they just want to use it, right?" She can't go and up and sell that photo to that cosmetic brand and then bypass me. I would sue them. I would sue her. I would sue everybody. So again, non-exclusive rights to use it in general, posting and every et cetera, et cetera. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm just giving you the fundamentals. You got to research yourself, but this does apply to everybody. So she does not, those are not that person's photos. They do not own the copyright. They get to use it. They get a general usage. Yeah, you could use it, but they don't own it. And that's one of the reasons why I never allow, and I'm sure many of you do the same, don't release raw files. That's basically your negatives, right? In a digital world, that's our negatives. And those negatives to me are extremely important because it shows within the metadata of that image where it was taken, who took it, what camera, what settings, et cetera, which will all help me if I ever had to go to court and say, "Hey, that's my photo." And they're like, "No, that's ours." I say, "Well, I actually have the original raw file. So you go ahead and start counting some zeros on that check." And so that's why I don't ever give away the raws. But outside of that, when you're working with a model, you're generally at least allowing them to use it. And then you're also agreeing to not sell it as well. And if you do, right, I would also pay the model. Like that would just be the best business practice to do if someone ended up doing it. That's why when I do editorial shoots, I'm shooting with a model, we're a creative team. I own the copyright. I submit it to the magazine because they want to deal with the person who owns the photos, who has the exclusive rights to the photos. And then I give them non exclusive rights to publish those photos, and they could do X, Y, and Z. And a lot of times they'll say, oh, this is what we're intend to do. We're going to post it on our Instagram. And also, we want to post it on our website and also within this magazine. And if you submit, you're agreeing to those particular terms. Now, I do that for obviously for like marketing and promoting. It's always good to get yourself out there as a portrait photographer, editorial photographer. But the point is that they say upfront what they want to do with it. And then you, by submitting, your action is the agreement. Okay. And you press the little dots. Hey, you check the box on the website. Yes, I agreed. I read the terms. And then your action of pressing enter and submitting is your handshake, if you will. Now, but that's why what we're doing with a model, or if a client comes and pays for my service, same thing. They don't own the copyright. They don't own the copyright. They don't own the copyright. But within there might be slightly smaller clauses in there that says, look, I'm not going to post your photos without your permission, right? Some clients don't want their photos up. I did a great headshot. I was really proud of it. I asked the client first, do you mind if I put this one photo on my website? They said yes. Boom, go ahead. You want to respect your privacy of your clients and and thus protecting your brand, quite honestly. So when I take I say private, not models, but like private individuals photos, family photos, stuff like that, they do have a right of some sort of privacy. So I would also, even though technically you own the rights to those photos, it would be a very bad look on your part to just go ahead and post them when they may not feel comfortable. I'd make sure to ask, but they do not own your photos. They don't have any rights to your photos, but to use those photos in normal usage in a photography client situation. Like if they went to go get it printed or something like that. Or if they posted on Instagram, you would expect them to do that with your digital files. Anything outside of that scope, especially for sale or publication, let's say if they want their family photos are so terrific, they're going to be in Family Photo magazine, right? Well, that magazine better reach out to you. Otherwise, I would gladly sue them too. Okay. I'll gladly send them a letter and say, you just published my image in 5,000 magazines. Yeah, we're going to talk about a number. Okay. And not only that, you slap them with a penalty for not doing their due diligence and finding out who actually owned those photos. So now you hit them with a penalty on top of that. All right. And then they'll learn their lesson, just like this model has, Polina Parkova. And that's what she got hit. And she knew the facts were against her, and that's why she settled out of court. She didn't care what Team Z thought. She's like, "Oh, dang, I was wrong. Let me just settle this out of court, and no one's none the wiser." Okay. So when you work with a client, your headshots, your whatever, you're giving them non-exclusive rights of general usage. Like, oh, you're just gonna frame it and put it up somewhere. Like you would expect that. But anything outside of the normal scope of that client photographer privilege, then no. If you see your client posting on Instagram, do not run after them talking about, hey, I didn't know you were going to post that one on Instagram. No, you just forget it. Okay. You get the fattest, how can I say, hold on. I'd be doing this all day in your ear. Okay. You idiot. So don't go after your clients after you heard me yelling on this stupid channel, okay? But if it's a commercial situation, stuff like that, a model, because models sometimes they'll want to submit their photos to a magazine. They better come to me first. And a lot of times what I do is I'll say, look, I'll take care of the submission. Send me the link. I'll worry about that part because again, the magazine usually has a clause where or somewhere in there in the description section of the submission that says, hey, are you the copyright owner? Okay, we want to deal with the person who owns this thing. Okay, because they don't want to get sued, and I don't blame them. So we're gonna go. we're gonna actually hold on. We're gonna this topic will actually bleed into this current one, which is who actually owns your photos. Okay, if it's a works for hire, you don't own that work, and we're gonna talk about that in about 2 seconds. Okay, um, woo. Here we go. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. Here we go. Technically, it's the one who pushed the button, the owner, but it gets sticky with second, third shooters not owning the photos. Gets sticky when you hired by corporate campaigns, 100%. But think about this, drug wedding photographer, and obviously you're a wedding photographer, so you know more about the wedding photography side. I'm talking from fashion photography, editorial, and either way, it's all our photos. So, yes, when you press the button, 100%, okay? Um, but okay, so like but it gets sticky with second and third shooters not owning the photos. Yes, it is absolutely it does get sticky because technically they're a work for hire, right? They're like working underneath you and your brand and everything else. So yes, it does get sticky. But just write it into the clause. Write it into the clause what you think is best for you, have them sign that and then let them take the care of the photos, you know? When I do second shooting, I shoot, I do my best, hand over the raw files, and I leave. I really am not tripping personally. You know, I don't care if you call it your photos. I really don't care because I'm walking away with a copy. You got the copy. Mazel tov. Let's do this. I don't care. You know, as a second shooter, I shoot and I leave. Okay, that's your client, that's your business. You do, wada wada. I don't care. Okay, do what you like. And every time I've ever second shot, I just put it on their hard drive and I walk away. I say thank you very much. I'm paid. I'm out of here. So that's just the way I've been when I've done second photographer. Yes, some clients don't want their photos on social, but they specifically say they're having a confidential marriage. It's a California thing. Same price, but they let me know ahead of time. Well, see, there you go. And that's why you're the drunk wedding photographer right there. Okay. But yes, I've had that issue with just family portraits. Oh, can you please not share these? Oh, can you please? I don't care. I really don't care. You know, not I care about how they feel, but I don't care about not being able to share it. You know, I have thousands of photos. I've shared something else, and respecting them can mean another day with them, another shoot day. So, of course, I'm gonna respect that. Hey, Cooley's in the house. Yeah. Thank you, Cooley, for checking on in, brother. Really appreciate it. As you can tell, we are talking about copyright law and all the just basics. I'm not getting deep. I don't have my suit on, and clearly I'm no attorney. I haven't passed the bar, but I do want to at least bring up this discussion about knowing our rights as creatives. Right, it's very important. What else is there? Oh, Cooley says there is always metadata. No, you're 100% right. You can't get more like you can't get more foolproof than the raw file, right? And the way things can manipulate and add stuff and this and delete the raw file is a raw file is a raw file. If I go to court with a raw file, that's pretty good. It might as well be the camera I shot it with, right? So that's the way I see it. Oh, look who's here. Look who's here. Pie's in the house. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, exactly, EF. It's all about contracts. That's right. Get it in writing. That's right. Get it in writing, folks. Come on now. Again, it's what you can prove. If it's not if it's in writing and there was there's like 5 things that make a contract. Damn it, I'm trying to remember this years ago, 12 years ago. But it was like 5 things 5 elements of a contract to make it law abiding. One is um, compensation, how much, an exchange of value, right? Um, Obviously, the location, date, time, etc. Um, the territory, okay. meaning where is this being enforced? California in our case. Um, an agreement. There has to be an agreement exchanged, right? Like when I submit my photos to a magazine, they say, "Have you read the terms and agreement? And are you the copyright owner?" And then me pressing submit is my action of agreement. Okay. On my invoices, when I send to clients, I have my terms and conditions. And then I say, your payment of your deposit acts as an agreement that you read the terms and conditions mentioned above. I have that in my template so that even you pressing this, I don't want to hear it. You read it. I'm going to assume you read it because I had it clearly stated, not hidden. And then their action of paying means you understand deposits are non-refundable. Okay. I've never had an issue with that. Most people understand that, but I have it written everywhere just in case. Because once in a while you'll be, oh, I didn't. Oh, it says right here. Here it is, right in the email, right there. I'm so sorry, but that's what it says. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Okay. Screw that. Because what? It's all about the contracts, baby. It's all about the contracts, baby. Yeah, I'm thinking of like an old school Puffy song. It's all about the contracts, baby. Like the Benjamins. Anyway, a little corny. All right, let's get back to it. Um, now we talked about what is copyright law. We talked about who owns the copyrights to your photos because that could get sticky. Now let's dive a little deeper. Let's talk about works for hire. Okay, let's see what we got here. Um, okay, here we go. This is a good one. This is a good one. Good description. Wait, do I have it right there too? Oh yeah, let's go to this one. Okay, cool. Check this out, everybody. Let's talk about works for hire. What does that mean as a copyright owner, or you think you are? Okay, look right here. Notes on works made for hire. Generally, the author or initial copyright owner of a photograph is the person who shoots, or as a drunk wedding photographer, who clicks, right, presses that shutter, takes the photo. So, yes, generally speaking, as a photographer, if you took that photo, you generally are the copyright owner by default, even if a model pays for your headshots, etc. One limited expectation to the rule is when a photograph is created as a work made for hire. Hear that? A work made for hire. Let's dig deeper. Let's dig deeper. Come on now. A work made for hire occurs when a photographer creates work as part of their scope of employment, like a publication. If you're a photographer for that publication, this is what it's talking about. When there is an express agreement between a photographer and commission party, ergo a publication, to create a body of work for a specific statute identified purpose. Okay. If the photographs were created as works for hire, the employer or commission party is considered the author and owns. Hold on, let's say it together. And owns the copyright to the images rather than the photographer. Okay, that's why you got to read. That's why what did EF say? It's all about the contracts, baby. Okay. The images may still be registered as a group as long as the photographs were created for the same employer. The employer is named as the author of each photograph, and the photographs are identified in the application as works for hire. Okay. Now, before we get into this unlawful part, let's talk about that now. Let's talk about that a little bit. Works for hire. So, if someone hired you to shoot for a specific job, for a specific purpose, especially if you're employed, if you actually work for a company, let's say, I don't know, Levi's, and you shoot photos for them, those are their photos. They own it, even though you took it. So that's a caveat to the whole copyright or general ownership of said images you created. You got to know the difference. Okay. So, which is fine. Obviously, if they're paying you a handsome salary, you may want to take a nice, reliable check for a year, under contract or whatever it is, and then call it a day. That could be a nice little payday. It's up to you, you know? So, so with that said, you're shooting it specifically for them. Mazel tov, take the photos. I don't care. Give me my money. All right. But they own it. That means there could be a clause like, hey, you're not allowed to do anything with these images or put them on your website or anything for 6 months or a year. Now the ball's in their court in terms of usage, right? When they maybe have it in there like, hey, maybe have a clause in the agreement you guys sign. Hey, after 12 months, I'm allowed to use these images to promote my business, right? Promote myself, my work, my business. That's totally fine too. I've seen that. Absolutely. But understand when it comes to works for hire, you don't own it. If you're an in-house photographer, that's a work for hire more than likely. Again, read the contract. And if it's made anything made during that work for hire, during those hours for that client, let's say between 10 to 6, you work there from 10 to 5, right? And you're shooting all day for them for using your camera, that's all theirs. Okay. That's what they're hiring you for, to do said work. And therefore to produce images for them. And it's theirs. And they're compensating you for that, I'm sure. All right. Let's go ahead, check out some of these here comments. Hero shots. Hey, brother. Hold on now. Hold on. Yeah. It's really I do have to say I'm really humbled to see new faces in here. I'm humbled to see new names. Shout out to EF. Okay, don't know you, but hey, shout out to you. We got Hero Shots in the house right here. I'm kind of digging his little logo there. That's cool. I like the hat turned back with the photographer. All this talk of contracts make me happy. I do sports and birds. Well, let me tell you, this applies right to you, right for you. This is it. This is the hour. Okay. I'm glad you're in here. Because if you want to get your stuff published sports wise, um, birds, if you want, National Geographic one day, know your rights. You get paid, brother. When payments are cashed, done deal. Hey, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. Cooley says, what about time for prints? I kind of touched that earlier. So when you do TFPs, trade for prints, or just a trade shoot. In that agreement, you get a model agreement. Maybe I should pull one up. Sugar honey iced tea. Let me see if I can pull one up. Give me a second, guys. Let me see if I can just. Mm. See if I. Okay, I think this is one of my older ones. Okay, all right. But here we go. Let's go ahead. All right, Cooley. Here we go. I'm going in for you, Cooley. All right. Take a look at this here. All right. Take a look, everybody. This is my old model agreement. Jesus, I don't even use this logo anymore. What am I doing? Anyway, you guys are taking a blast in the past for this one with me, okay? What the heck? I just said shrink it. Anyway, there we go. There we go. All right. I, blah, 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 model name, for good and valuable consideration, the receipt of which is hereby acknowledged, hereby irrevocably authorized, Robert Silver, to use photographs of me or my property and authorize him and his licenses, yada, 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 right? Legal represent, okay, licenses, legal representatives, transferees to use and publish without my name, company name, or a fictitious name, photographs, pictures, portraits, or images herein described in any and all forms of media in all manners, including composite images, distorted representations, right? Like let's say retouched images, and the purpose of publicly illustration, commercial work, advertising, publishing, electronically, CDs, the internet, whatever, for any product or services or lawful uses as many that may be determined by a photographer or studio named here. I release and discharge photographer of any claims, demands that may arise out of connection with the use of my photos, including without limitation any all claims for liable violation or any right of publicly or privacy. So you're giving me the full right, the model shooting with me, TFP. She's giving me the full rights to use her these images with her in it any which way I feel like using them. Okay, you're transferring all the rights of her likeness in those photographs over to me, and she can't hold me liable. And it says I discharge and release of any claims and demands that may arise out of this. The authorization and release shall also uh, in I don't know the word in your to the benefit of the heirs. Okay, so basically I could transfer this over to my daughter or something, and she gets the same benefits. Okay. I'm a legal competent adult, so make sure they're over 18. Get a separate one for the parents. Uh Further waive any and all rights to review, approve any usages of these images. You hear that, folks? I further waive any rights to review or approve how I use these photos. Any copyright or finished product. Finished product could be your final retouched image. I read this document and fully understand the contents. If under the age of 18, I shall have a parent, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then I also put, I think I added this in there. Please do not crop, print, edit, or otherwise alter the images without prior consent. Because you know how they do it. They throw the filters and they do all sorts of crap to my photos and then want to tag me in it. Any unapproved, altered, or edited images will be asked to be removed. And then I have them sign accordingly. And in the description here, I'd probably make sure that it says compensation. I'd put somewhere for compensation. I think this is an old one, but I'd have a line here for compensation and then say trade or like 6 digital images or 10 digital images retouched. Be very specific. Be very specific because they'll be like, what are you going to do with the rest of the photos? Can I just get them? No, that's just me. I'm very specific. No, you get this much amount of time if we're doing trade, and you get these amount of photos. And if you want extras, I charge them. But that's just me. Okay. All right. I hope that helped in any way. I don't know if it did, Cooley, but I hope it did. Okay. Work made for hire. Then see contract agreement. Exactly. Yes, absolutely. Got to read this stuff, folks. At least be familiar. That's the whole point of today's live stream is so that we become familiar with our rights. Good tip, Robert. Deposit act as an acknowledgement of terms. We'll be adding that. Thank you. Oh, you're more than welcome. Again, because things are getting more digital. Yes, I do have people sign via DocuSign, but I also make it very apparent if you pay this invoice, that action is an acknowledgement that you agree to the terms and conditions. Okay? It's like it's like me giving you $10 to put gas in my car, right? And I'm at a gas station and I'm like, "Hold on, why are you putting gas in my car?" It's like, "Sir, you're at a gas station. Your gas tank is open and you handed me $10. Clearly, you want some damn gas for $10." So it's kind of like that. So Um, unless freelance, sell per photo. And that's a great sales advice right there, EF. 100%. If you're working freelance, of course, there's a lot of nuances, right? I don't want to say I know it all because I don't, because I'm not an attorney. I only like took classes in this in school for entertainment business, and but I've noticed when I messed up where I did, and a lot of times I messed up, meaning left more money on the table, was through because my ignorance of copyright law and how it applied as a photographer. Okay. Um, you my neighbor. Oh, I'm your neighbor. What? Okay, well, shout out to you. Uh Cooley, can you make these templates available? See, brother, look at here. This is what I'm gonna do. Okay, Cooley. We're gonna go right on over to here. Let me share this tab. Check this out, everybody. Check this out. You know me, I'm gonna hook you guys up with game. You need to wander on over to Professional Photographers of America. That's right, PPA.com. You can see here, I've been paying for PPA for some time. I like PPA because they are a lobbying body for our rights as photographers, protecting our copyrights and all sorts of stuff. They offer obviously insurance, education, copyright protection, discounts on other stuff. All right. But most importantly, they have these resources. Look at this customizable contracts. Go right here, Cooley. Cooley, go to ppa.com right here. Awesome resource, contracts and forms, sales and marketing tools, consumer. This is all for us as photographers. Now go right here, legal contract and form templates. Okay, free model release guide. Here you go. Guys, I'm dropping you guys some game. Come on now. Smash that like. Smash that like. Look at this. Here, I'm going to post it right now. Okay. Model release form. It's because I love you guys. Boom. I did the work for you. There, check out the link right now. I just posted it in the chat. And you get your free model release form, Cooley. Come on now. Free model release form. I just gave it to you live at Robert Silver Photography. Okay. So smash that like. Come on, people. I'm here for the people. And all I need is a good old smash of the like and share and subscribe to my channel. Help me get to 10K. Come on, help me get to 10K. That's what I'm talking about. What my goal actually is to get to 10K by the time I go to WPPI in March. Okay. If you guys help me get to 10K by March, that will be a serious, serious W. I plan on going live at WPPI and let's make it an awesome stream. You guys support me, smash the like, subscribe. Come on, people. You know what time it is. All right. Okay. So there you go, Cooley. I hope that helped in any particular way. Matter of fact, let's go back to this website real quick because they have other cool stuff here. Okay. They have so there we go. We got look, they have photography contract templates right there, model release forms, release for claims, commercial photography contract, wedding contract, portrait contract. I'm telling you, PPA's got it, man. Um, let me see if I let me see. I don't think I've ever changed my stuff. Clearly. No, oh, that's the join. My bad. The login. Okay. It's only like $27 a month. There's my old photo. See, look at that. Member since 2017. Okay. And I don't do any of their educational stuff, but they have so many other benefits. So are you using all your benefits? There's a lot of benefits to this stuff. They got webinars and all sorts of hoot nanny. But oh, look at that. I had this. I bought it through them, general liability insurance, since I was shooting weddings in like fancy hotels. They generally want you to have that. Guess what? The cost of 1 year, it was like only like 200 something bucks. I got that money back in the first wedding. So there you go. Let me see if I could find the contract, the benefits. Let's see here. Contracts. There we go. Okay. Look at it. Okay. Contract. Da, 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 da. All this stuff. Look at these sample contracts, everybody. PPA. Join them. Join them. I'm telling you, as a photographer, this is the second. most valuable thing I think they offer is these sample contracts. Secondly, is the insurance. You get basic insurance, WPPA. I mean WPPA, PPA. Okay, photo care. Look, when you join, you get $15,000 in total coverage, which means nowadays one body and two lenses. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit of an L. But back in the day, 15 grand would cover a hell of a lot. In 2016, it covered a lot, but nowadays it'll cover like one camera body and like two lenses or something. I don't know. But either way, soon as you activate your coverage, look at this. It takes less than 10 seconds to activate, and then boom, as long as you're paying, you get this covered. Okay. So with theft up, car break-ins and stuff like that, it doesn't hurt, man. And I think the deductible is only 10, 5,000, 5,000, $500. And then you're covered up to 15 grand. What's 500 bucks? You know what I mean? If you had to replace it. Shit, I'd pay that so fast. But again, you guys saw where the contracts were. WP. Why do I keep saying that? At ppa.com. Go check them out for yourself. I don't have any affiliate link. I don't know nothing about it. I wish they did. I'd probably actually like get free months of membership. Would be nice, but they don't have that. All right. So there you go. I hope that helped you out, Cooley. Let's see. Work with that. Yes. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Glad that helped you. I'm okay. Here we go. Nice contract. She just sold her soul. I'm sorry. You know, it is what it is. No, but you see, within even that model release is years old. This one, I just typed it up and it just popped up. But um, Uh, yeah, I know it does, but that's technically what you should do to cover yourself with these photos. Let's say if you and the model have a falling out, you and the model have a falling out a year later, and then she's all butthurt that you're posting the photos. You have this agreement; it's a wrap. You could go ahead and be butthurt, press a thumbs down on my post. I don't care, but it is what it is. That's why it's important to have these basic agreements um, taken into consideration before you shoot. Just keep posting. Shorts the way to get more subs. You're absolutely right. Today, dude, everybody, I'm gonna have okay, little story time, okay? I figured out I don't I feel like an old man saying this, but I figured out how to do cool dynamic captions on my shorts, right? So I created a template in Adobe Premiere at 1080 by 1920. So it's nice and vertical. I took my video and then I practiced with it today. I'll be posting it on YouTube and stuff like that. And now my stuff is more dynamic. My captions are more dynamic, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so proud of myself." It's the most simplest thing, but I finally figured out how to do it. And thank God to YouTube University, and I found out somebody showed how to do it, and it's so cool. So I will be doing more. And what I want to do on YouTube Shorts is to give you like quick 1 minute photography tips. That's like my goal. I'm really trying to free up more time in other areas of my life so I can give you guys more content. And again, it's really tough right at this point where um, I feel like I have a lot of great content, but putting it together takes time. And since I do this all by myself, it does take up a lot of time. And once I get to a certain point, maybe I could hire Derek to be hang out, help me more often, and will relieve some stress. So yes, you're absolutely right, EF. I do plan on doing more shorts, and yes, they will help with subs, 100%. Luke, hey, thank you for stopping by. Uh Down with the WPPA. Yeah, I know. I keep as soon as I said WPPI, I just obviously got them together with PPA, WPPI, all these acronyms. Sell it for the bank when she makes it. Hell yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm cashing in. Guess who I have a photo of? I have a photo of what was her name, Paulina Prokova, when she was just getting into her first agency. That could be worth money. That could be worth money. You know, those kind of old photographs. Like, imagine the first set of photographs of like Tyra Banks. I'm sure that's got to be worth something for somebody. Um, like TMZ might buy. I don't know if TMZ would buy him, but publications like that, if that makes any sense. All right, let's get back to it. We got about 30 minutes left here. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please post them down below. And yes, go ahead, smash that like, that share, subscribe, and yes, hit that bell notification to get notified. Who would have thought? Hit that bell notification to get notified. Hit that bell icon to get notifications of my upcoming content. All right. Um, let's go on over here. Go back to the topics. All right. So we talked about what is copyright and who owns the copyright to your photos, right? You mean like you took them, but who actually owns the rights to those? And then we got into works for hire. What is it? How does it affect you as a photographer? And also, there's pros and cons to that, clearly. So, but definitely go research that and what that means. You won't understand the pros and cons if you don't understand what the hell it is in the first place. And that's really what today's talk is all about. Now, let's talk about the last and final thing: usage rights and licensing. Okay. Usage rights and licensing. Very important stuff here. This is where we're going to make the money, folks. This is where we're going to make the money. All right, hold on, folks. Hold on, hold on. My throat is a little raspy right now. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Mm. Look at me. I'm spilling shit all over the place. Okay. Oh, it's probably because I cursed once or twice. That could have been it. That could have been it. Why they blocked monetize my feed here. Um, what happens if you post to Facebook? If I post what, Cooley? And what do you mean? You mean like what happens if a model posts to Facebook? Is that what you mean? Or what do you mean if I post my own photos to Facebook? It doesn't matter. But maybe you're talking about first on Facebook's case. If you post anything on those social medias, you're giving them rights to use that photo. Period. Period. How do you think we educated all this algorithm? They were selling our stuff from soon as we uploaded our first photo. Facebook makes their money off the data they have that they own, right? And we give them ownership to our identity, right? Our birth date, where did we grow up, what school did we go to, what graduation school, all that data, as well as our photos and videos and everything, they sell that stuff. That's why these AIs are so educated in such a short period of time because they've been educating it with the stupid content we're creating and posting. So when they say model on a cliff, they're referring to all these hundreds of millions of photos that are uploaded and educating the algorithm on what the hell a model is on a cliff. So unfortunately, you have to read the specific terms and conditions in using Facebook. I don't know them, Cooley, but you are giving your rights away. That's 100% a fact. Okay. You're not giving your rights you're not giving the right of another user to use your photos. You're giving Facebook rights, etc. And but check it out. Yes, 100%. You know what? Do you guys see me watermark? Do you guys come on? Think about it. Do you guys see me watermark my images? Do you see me? No, you don't. Okay? No, you don't. Because it's a waste of time. They have apps now, they can take that watermark right off. I mean, it's really not that difficult for the most part. That's why I don't upload high res images. That's why I don't do anything like that. And yes, it's a chance. It is what it is. I don't know what to tell you, but I don't waste my time watermarking my image and distracting the viewer on my work. I've noticed all the artists that I look up to, Joe McNally to um, Matthew Jordan Smith to Dixie Dixon to um, um, I said Joe McNally. Oh, Lindsay Adler to Peter Hurley. I don't see watermarks on any of their photos, like ever, ever. I don't go to their website. I don't see it. I don't see it anywhere. So I don't do it. I don't do it because I was like, wait a minute. If they don't do it, why the hell am I doing it? So I just don't do it. But that's just me. Do what you do. Some people put a very small one somewhere. Smaller just makes it easier to erase. I mean, we all know that Photoshop 101. You know what I mean? So whatever, do whatever you feel is best. But I don't. I hate watermarks. Ooh, Craig. Wow, I felt that. Hold on, let me say that again. I hate watermarks. Unless for proofs. Exactly. That's what I do. If it's a proof, I have a fat one right across the whole damn thing. Right? For proofs. And I don't ever send proofs without watermarks. Screw that. I've the right I got this new I use Pixie Set to send out my proofs. And the first time I did it, I was weak and I didn't put in my watermark. And guess what? It ended up on Facebook. The client was posting screenshots of the photos already on her cover, on her banner of her, and changing her profile pic. I was like, "What are you doing? I didn't send you the pics yet." It's just, I'm just so excited. It was all innocent, but it was like, holy Christ, they're quick to post before I even edit it. So after that, I watermark everything. I don't care. Pie comes back. Never saw a watermark. Exactly. You don't see it, don't need it. It's never hurt me. And if I do find my image somewhere not used, trust and believe me, I will send a nice letter. I'm ready to go. Okay. And you should be too. At least hey, DM them and say, where'd that image come from? Craig. And signatures on images, prints, completely distracting. Exactly. Exactly. If I saw these photographers that I look up to, that I admire, their work ethic, etc., and none of them are doing it, come on. I don't think Manny Ortiz does it. Um, Pi from SLR Lounge. I don't see anybody doing it. So what did we sitting here talking about watermarks? This is in 1992. So no, figure it out. And it's a chance. We all know whenever we post and upload anything to the internet, it's a chance. It's a gamble. Right? I remember a story Tony and Chelsea Northrup talked about when the photo that they use on their digital photography book ended up on some product in like China or something. And they had to fight and figure all that stuff out. And they got a few bucks after all that. But the point was that, like, you just never know. It's a chance. Will it happen every time? No, but it's a chance. But for me, I'm looking. I look at social media as a marketing tool, and I'm thinking about my viewers, right? Even you guys, right? If I want more subs, I'm thinking about how does my photos appeal to my to an audience I'm trying to attract. And if I'm putting all these watermarks and everything, that's so distracting. It's a fat L. Let's not. But that's just me. Let me get off my high horse here. I mean my soapbox, excuse me. Let's go back to usage rights. Okay, let's get back to usage rights. Um okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Here we go. I got a good site for you guys. Jeez, what is going on with this freaking internet, man? I can't Jesus. I apologize if something's happening. Let me know if there's any lag or anything. Um Here we go. Check this out. Talking about usage rights and license. All right, types of photography rights. When a photographer decides to license, give permission of their images, there are multiple considerations. Photo licensing isn't one size fits all. Absolutely not. You could almost, it's very fluid. You could draft it the way you feel is best for you. Typically, there are three components to a photo license type. Check this out, everybody. Check this out. Type of usage, exclusivity, and duration, the terms, right? How long? Let's go over it. Here we go. Types of usage right here. Type of use determines how the license is allowed to use the images, right? The licensee, excuse me, how the licensee is allowed to use the images. So that's the first thing. Remember what we said earlier with that model? She was not given permission to post it on her Instagram as a carousel. Now, one time I got hired by a marketing firm in LA to shoot for some particular person for HBO. They specifically said what the usage was. Oh, we need photos for her social media post to promote this show. Cool. And they even said how many photos, 3 to 5 photos as a carousel. You see, they're very specific when they don't want to get sued. Okay. Very specific. That means they're professional. They know what time it is. The main two types you'll find are commercial and editorial, right? Here we go. Commercial use is when you use images to sell or promote a business and its products or services. Let's say uh, cosmetology, hygiene products, hair products, beauty products, etc. Clothing, right? Let's say if you're doing a gee whiz, what does it mean in brain fart today? If you're shooting for their website, e-commerce, that's what I wanted to say. E-commerce, stuff like that. That's all commercial use. Here's the second one. Okay. Let me do this. There we go. Editorial use is when the images are used in a magazine, newspaper, or editorial publication, right? In my case, as I just mentioned, that was for commercial use. They're selling or promoting that show that this person was on. Okay. That's pretty clear cut. Images to sell or promote a product or service. Secondly, editorial use, like when you submit to magazines, whether they're small and they're not paying you or if you're commissioned. Most don't pay. But the point is, the rights are your right, your copyrights are still in play. Like all this is important. So they're saying, okay, we want to use these for our magazine or newspaper or editorial publication. Cool. So now you figured out what they want to do with it. Awesome. Next is exclusivity. Some photographers license the same image out to multiple sources, while others give exclusive rights. Now, when you're put a price tag on that exclusive, folks, put a price tag on it. If you're going to give them exclusive rights, put a price tag on it. Obviously, right? If they just want all the rights to it and no one else could publish those photos, you got to put a price tag on it, clearly, right? And if they don't, and then if they can't, well, then you go back down to, okay, well, then I could submit this to magazines, maybe in a different region, right? Like, let's say their rights could be just North America, South America, and then you go publish them in Japan, in Asia somewhere. You know what I mean? All right, let's go over it. Non-exclusive rights give an individual or entity the right to use the photos in predefined way, right? When did I mention when did I mention non-exclusive rights? When you working with a model, trading for prints, stuff like that. Also, um, your family portraits and stuff like that, stuff like that. The photographer can grant non-exclusive rights to several people at the same time. Because guess what? That's the whole point of non-exclusive. Hello. Okay. And then exclusive rights grant one source the sole rights to the images. Complete rights. The photographer cannot license the photos to anyone else and often cannot use the photos for anything other than their portfolio. That's what I was talking about earlier. It's like if you do an editorial and you're, let's say, a work for hire, in the clause, I would say, okay, after they're published, 6 months after, I have the rights to at least use it to promote my portfolio, put it on my website, something like that. Okay. Again, the more exclusive, the more bang you should be making sure they pay. Now so we took care of the type, what type of usage. Then we're talking about how exclusive are the rights, and then duration, right? So, oh, before we get to there, when it's non-exclusive, and you want to try to sell it to multiple people, right? Then you can make up for the exclusive right fee by selling it to two or three folks that might be able to use it for something. Another one way is like I hate to say stock images because you basically made nothing off of them, but hypothetically, that's one way to do it. But if they want to have that image totally for themselves, then pay you a premium. All right, duration. The final consideration when licensing photos is for how long the licensee has the rights. Okay. License durations can range from several months to unlimited, and meaning the licensee has the right to use the images as long as they would like. Now, story time, real quick. Um, there was a time not it was last year, quite honestly, right? Where I did photos for an event, and then the owners of the company wanted some portraits outside. I took their portraits, all was good. I'm assuming because I'm there, I'm hired specifically to shoot the event. It's event photography. Have a great time, all's good. Fantastic event, great company, great mission, all's good. Come to find out, they wanted to use the photos I took of them specifically for a book they're publishing. Oh, what? What? Oh, I was hi and I so when I had to give a day to think about it, I said, "How do I approach this to maintain my professionalism, etcetera?" But I know my rights are being violated. They're not doing it on purpose, but I just know. So I said, um, I was specifically hired to do this specific service, event photography, use it for social media and post, website, posting up your event, Facebook, stuff like that. I was not hired to specifically post to capture portraits for a book that's going to be released, thousands of copies, hundreds of copies, and and use those photos for X amount of term. I didn't know my photos are being used in that particular way. So I spoke to the representative. I said the subscription. She said, "Okay, shoot me a price." We negotiated. She sent me over an agreement, a release form with usage. Hey, we're going to do this with it. We do that. And then they did pay for exclusive rights because they were like, look, we just want to pay this one time fee and we're done. And I was like, okay, not a problem. And I accommodated and they were happy. All was good. They paid in full. And they totally understood my rights. They weren't like, oh, butthurt. It's a large company. It's a large firm. And but if I had just been like, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'll do that," like a favor, I would have lost 3 grand. I would have lost 3 grand extra on top of everything. Man, that's why you got to know your rights and stick up for them. And that was 3 grand that ultimately didn't cost me much, but to just stick up for my rights. Boom. And say, okay, okay, you want it because as soon as we started talking money, they're like, all right, look, we just wanted the exclusive. It was awesome. But that's the power. That's the power we possess as creators if we only know it. Okay. And be professional about bringing that up, of course. All right. Let's go back. Let's see here. So that plays right into this. Um, how long the license rights has. I put it for unlimited, etc., exclusive rights, unlimited. They wanted it worldwide. You got to add in there worldwide and stuff like that. And also, consult a professional. Clearly, not me, but I added all those things as they had it an attorney. We just worked through the contract together, back and forth like twice. Boom, cool, and they mailed the check. Um,
I normally don't take checks, but their company is very large and they have plenty of money. So I was okay with a check. License duration can range from several months to unlimited. I put unlimited so that, but you could put 2 years. Some people do that. They'll be like, okay, you're going to use my photo for the first edition of this book. And that edition is going to have 10,000 copies, and that is it. Okay. But when they go to second edition and they want to use your photo again, they have to come and talk to you. Or if you put 2 years, okay, 2 years, or second edition, you could add whatever you want. But let's just say 2 years. After those 2 years, they have to come back and pay you another fee. Now, I would not recommend putting it at the same price because you didn't like just go shoot it. You're just giving them another licensing. So let's say for stupidity's sake, the initial usage fee is $1,000, and then you charge them every 2 years, $500. Something like that. I'm just giving you an example. Okay. Meaning the licensee has the right to use the images as long as they would like. Yes, as long as they pay you your fee. A typical commercial photography license will grant 1 to 2 years of usage rights. When thinking about your business's marketing and promotional plans, it's a good idea to have fresh images taken every few years. Yes, absolutely, 100%. And hopefully you're pitching that. So, um, oh, okay, here we go. Photographer takes photos, which they possess the copyright. Photographer grants copyright, your licensing and usage fee. You charge for all that. For each different kind of usage. Social media, boom. Um, Products, boom. Um, Video, boom. Like if they want to add it to a video, you have that all included. Now you can itemize it or again include it into the rate as a whole, and it comes with those. That part's all up to you how you modify it. The client can share images online and in person, but they cannot transfer the images to any third party. Yeah, make sure you put that in there. Okay, that they can't resell it, etc. Again, if they want more exclusive rights, more full rights to it, then you just make them pay through the nose. Okay, and that's just the way it goes. Jeez, that's a lot. That's a lot today. So I hope some of this. Uh, Now let's talk about getting paid real quick for like 5 minutes. So now that you know the fundamentals of copyright and the rights that you have and ways to protect your work, now that you understand that when you're itemizing your invoice, I would highly recommend first, um, you have a sitting fee, right? Your 2 hour, 1 hour, half day, full day, whatever that rate is, your sitting fee, so that when you show up, you're getting paid for this. Okay. Then then depending on what the caliber of work, right? Sometimes it's you're giving a license per image, right? Like, oh, I need 5 photos. Cool. That's a separate charge for those photos. And then there's a usage for those 5 photos. Excuse me. There's a usage for those 5 photos. Usually the usage fee is of the price of each of those photos. Let's say 5 photos. That's where you're like, okay, what do you want to do with those photos, the duration and everything else that we talked about? So you have your sitting fee, your usage licensing fee, and then I always like to add, if possible, a little 10% just in case there's some bumpy road, and then that's the price. Okay. Sometimes, an extra demand or two and the editing and stuff like that. I like to cover myself. So make sure you have everything itemized when it comes to these commercial shoots or potential shoots that involve usage licensing. I have everything explicitly itemized so that they know when I show up or when I that price I'm charging to show up and hang out for a half a day or a full day. That's just for me to hang out that day, and then sometimes they'll pay that day rate, and then we'll talk about the usage fee after they see the images, because sometimes they don't know how many photos they may want, yada yada. And that's what happened with the book. When they got the proofs, then they're like, "Oh, we really like these photos. What do we need to do for these three?" And that's how it worked out. Okay. There's no completely right or wrong as long as you have these basic fundamentals covered in your terms in your agreement.
but definitely consult a professional, a lawyer, and use ppa.com as a resource and stuff like that. I'm just a YouTuber trying to help you out. All right, before we end it, let's go over some of this here. Craig says, and signatures on images, prints, completely yes, it is. Yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly, drunk wedding photographer. Shout out to you. Your style should be your watermark. Exactly. That's your signature. That's the ultimate signature. No one could copy. AI has been a disturbance in the force. 100%. Absolutely. That's why it's like it's futile. It's futile to even think about watermarking. It's like, why? Like do my photos for free and my friends will call you. Yeah, exactly. Not exactly. Fat L. That never happens. That's why I don't do the trade for shoots anymore. I'm like, no, 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 no. I just don't see the value. Usage rights is key. 100%. Oh yeah. That's why this whole entire episode, this live stream was about copyright, because it's the most important aspect that can give you the most amount of money. Your sitting fee might be $1,000, but each copyright might bring you in 1,000 per image. Who knows? Or more. Damn, right? Depending on how many ways they wish to use it. You charge them right through the nose. Yeah, usage rights is key. The more specific, the better. Absolutely. And the more they want to use, the better too, because that means more money in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? I know you do.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk.
Exactly. The more they want to use it, the more I'm charging. Personal use versus commercial use. Yes, that's a huge difference. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this. And when we talk about works for hire and also usages, that now we're dealing with commercial work. And when we're talking about TFP and trade earlier and giving those models technically have a non-exclusive right to those photos, there is a huge difference. That's why get it in writing, get it in writing, get it in writing. Get that basic model. What is it? The free template I shared with you guys earlier. Make sure you go ahead, click that link to ppa.com and download your free model release contract. Come on, people. No brainer right there. All right. You guys hung in there with me. I can't believe it. I really appreciate it. Thank you all. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. You all deserve a round of applause. So it's about that time, 7 o'clock. You already know. It means I need to close this puppy down and get ready to start recording another video for you folks to enjoy on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out my latest video, Why You Need One. That's right. I'm talking about the 24 to 70 millimeter lens and why every photographer needs one. Go check out that video. Even if you don't watch it, just smash the like, you know what I'm saying? And smash that subscribe button on the way out of my video. Of course, you should already be following me on all the socials. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Threads. I am on Twitter. And yes, I'm on TikTok. Yeah, that's right. I TikTok and I won't stop. So make sure you go ahead and follow me all over there. Let's check out last minute questions, concerns, comments. EF comes in. I hope I see you soon enough, EF. Thank you. Thank you. And Craig comes in. This is good. This stuff is gold. Thank you. Can be overwhelming. Appreciate you. No, thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you, Craig. And then we also have Cooley. Love mine. Have two. There you go. Thank you, brother. All right, Cooley. Thank you very much for coming on in. Even late is better than never. So I appreciate seeing your name pop up. We got new names in here. I really appreciate everybody for checking out my channel. Of course, remember, best way to support this channel is by pressing that like, that share, subscribe, and yes, smash that bell icon to get notifications of my upcoming videos. Come on. Yes. And of course, I will be going live next Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yes, Derek will be back. Yeah, Derek is going to be back in the house, my co-host. Oh, yeah. That's right, Randy Savage. So, if you have any questions, comments, concerns about today's topic, feel free to post your comments down below. I'm your host, Robert Silver, and until next time, keep shooting and stay creative. Thank you for watching.
Join me every Thursday on YouTube for another live show of Let's Talk Photography. We cover the latest news, interviews with today's industry leaders, tips, tricks, lighting, cameras, and the business of photography. My weekly live stream is all about crowd participation. You're encouraged to ask questions, talk about the cool camera gear you've got or the camera gear you want to get. Hell, you could just join our open panel discussion during our Q&A portion of the show. The cost of access to Let's Talk Photography is very, very low. For today only, I'm hosting a very low price of free $99 to subscribe and press that bell icon to get notifications of my upcoming live streams. Now let's get back to the